say it. Jehovah, you. Say it. I trust in you. In you. Say it, y'all. Oh Lord. Jehovah, you. I trust. Say it. I trust. Show me how to do it, y'all. In you. I believe. Say it. Say it. I believe you. I trust. I trust. Come on. In you. Oh Lord. Come on, Jehovah, say it. Jehovah, you. Say it. I trust in you. In you. Say it, y'all. Oh Lord. Jehovah, you. I trust. Say it. I trust. Show me how to do it, y'all. In you. I believe. Say it. Say it. I believe you. I trust. I trust. Come on. In you. Oh Lord. Come on, Jehovah, say it. Jehovah, you. Say it. I trust in you. In you. Say it, y'all. Oh Lord. Jehovah, you. I trust. Say it. I trust. Show me how to do it, y'all. In you. I believe. Say it. Say it. I believe you. I trust. I trust. Come on. In you. Oh Lord. Come on, Jehovah, say it. Jehovah, you. Say it. I trust in you. In you. Say it, y'all. Oh Lord. Jehovah, you. I trust. Say it. I trust. Show me how to do it, y'all. In you. I believe. Say it. Say it. I believe you. I trust. I trust. Come on. In you. Oh Lord. Come on, Jehovah, say it. Jehovah.
Hi, I'm Michelle Chaffin. I'm the bookkeeper for Christ Aid. I am not coming to you from Uganda, but rather from a gorgeous greenhouse here in Littleton, Colorado. Thanks to a ministry partner that we have with Christ Aid, we have a brand new secondary school on the Christ Aid campus in Kachuna. It's a beautiful building, but we really need to furnish some items for the school before it can open in May of 2022. During the next half hour, we will take you on a virtual tour of the school and hear from multiple people in Uganda. We will need over $50,000 raised in the next 12 months to purchase everything on our needs board. List. (59618) or visit our website, christaidintl.org. Donations of any amount are appreciated. Before we start the video tour, let's take a look at some students at our primary school who enjoy being at Christ Aid Academy.
Be my God, hold me closely to his side. With love and strength, he will make a way. Sing it together. God will make a way. He will make a way for me. He will be my God. Hold me closely to his side.
Hi Christ Aid family, my name is Amy King. In January of 2018, my husband Casey, my daughter Lydia, who was in 5th grade at the time, and I traveled to Fort Portal and into Uganda to visit the Christ Aid Academy that was there. Our ministry partner, Kanina, also traveled there and recognized the need for a secondary school to be built on the property. They saw the quality of education that the Christ Aid Academy was already providing for the students there in a primary school. We were there right before the preschool was built, so that's another amazing addition that was made. For the secondary school, we need to furnish books, lab equipment, and other supplies Thank you to those of you who have already donated. Can you give maybe $100 so that the students can have the supplies that they need at our secondary school? Let's take a look at our new secondary school sign and meet Martin, the new headmaster.
And it starts, of course, we have our headmaster, Sanyu Martin, who is going to be leading our school. And of course, from here, he will be taking us entirely through the school project. And you see how we are going to be operating. So I'm very happy and I'm very glad that finally we are able to make our presence in the center of Fort Portal town.
So the sign you saw there was installed about 5 miles from the school on one of the main roads in Fort Portal. Would you be willing to call us at 866-205-9618 and make a donation so that the students can attend a secondary school in their own community? We would love to hear those phones start ringing. Before we begin our tour, let's hear from one of our Christ-Aid students.
My name is Kajumba Juliet. I am a pupil at Christ-Aid Primary School. I have just completed my primary living examinations. I thank Christ-Aid for supporting me in my education in the best primary school in Uganda. I also thank my sponsor for the support she rendered to me, who is called Brenda Olson. She really supported my studies because she started sponsoring me from P1 up to P7. And now I think she will continue up to the university. I have just finished my primary living examinations. I think shall excel highly and pass in Division 1 with distinctions only. I look forward to join Christ-Aid Secondary School for my secondary education, and it is among the best schools. Thank you. God bless.
Hello out there. I'm Marcy Martin, and it's my great honor to serve on the board for Christ-Aid International. You just heard a little bit from Juliet, and I'd like to tell you a little bit more about her. But first, let me tell you about the educational system in Uganda. Like we have here, we have started a preschool at Kachuna, and it's 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. And then they go to a primary school, and the primary 1 through 7. What we're working on tonight is our secondary school that will be opening up in 2022. Juliet was a student P7 getting ready to go to Kampala to school. She was really worried that she'd have to leave her home and her grandmother, who she gathers water for, and she cooks and takes care of the other siblings in her home. So she is so excited to be able to stay home and work at our high school and stay with her family, who she adores. One of her biggest problems, she tells me, is gathering water. Well, what we're doing at Christ-Aid is digging a well so that they will have fresh water right there on the campus. So if you can, think about offering some money, $50, $100, $20, that you could help us dig that well so we have fresh water at our secondary school. Thank you for listening, and thank you for supporting the children of Christ-Aid International.
Our dear viewers, my name is Sanyu Martin. I'm the head teacher of Christ-Aid Secondary School in Kichuna, Fort Portal, Uganda. I want to welcome you to our show and also to appreciate the efforts you have been putting in to ensure that you support Christ-Aid in helping and promoting education in our country, Uganda. Most of our children from this area are from poor economic background. They have been supported in their primary school education. However, they have been forced to move long distances to continue with the education, especially at secondary school level. So Christ-Aid International has helped us to establish a secondary school, and this has brought a lot of development and hope in our children around here, because most of them used to walk long distances to Fort Portal town, which is almost 8 to 10 kilometers from this area. Our school is guided by four or five important pillars. That is our school vision, our school mission, our school motto, our school objectives, and our core values. All these are aimed at, in summary, all these pillars are aimed at producing a very brilliant, innovative, creative, self-sustaining citizen of Uganda who also appreciates the strong Christian values which we stand for as the Christ Aid family. Want to thank you, and I'm going to take you around the school, and you see some of the developments that are taking place and the needs, some of the needs that we actually want. We want to also thank the partners of Christ Aid like Kunina who have helped in the development of this institution. I thank you. Let us move around and we tour the school.
We have been so impressed with our headmaster, Martin. Martin came on board with us in January, and he has been very busy ever since. He's ordering all the equipment and the supplies that we need. He's hiring our teachers and our staff. And most importantly, he is making sure that the school complies with all of the Uganda Ministry of Education requirements, which are lengthy. In addition, Martin is traveling around the area letting people know about the school. We do expect to have many boarding students come from Fort Portal and other regions around the area. We are lucky in Christ Aid to have such amazing schools that we have a terrific reputation, and people are going to want to come to the village of Kachuna to attend our school. Even our local leaders are looking forward to having this secondary school open. Let's hear from one of them now.
We have a leader among us, a local leader here, who has a message also to deliver.
Okay, thank you, madam. I'm called to Siganasul. I work with Fort Portal City. I have come here purposely to locate the signpost to see that place here. But on top of that, I hail from this place where the school is constructed. I'm very happy about this service because secondary schools in that area were not there at all. Children used to walk a very long distance to go to secondary schools. So this one is a very good blessing in this place to have Christ Aid Secondary School. We are really very happy about this. May God bless you. I wish you well in your services.
And Christ Aid friends, we realize that you want your hard-earned dollars to go to worthwhile causes, and we truly believe that Christ Aid has made an impact on the village of Kachuna, and not only that village, but it's impacted the surrounding areas in Fort Portal with the other programs and projects. It's spreading the impact that we can have in Uganda. Let's take a quick look at our needs board and see how we're doing so far. At 866-205-9618. And now we're going to join Martin, the headmaster of the secondary school, for the next part of the tour.
Now, as you realize, our school is not yet fenced. What we are having is just a temporary fence. But for us to have a school, the government, our government of Uganda, through the Ministry of Education, encourages us to have our school fenced for the safety of the children from the outside community. Now, it is one of the basic necessities that we need as a school to have a properly built entrance, which is a gate. Then the whole school needs to be fenced. And the recommended fencing has to be a well-built fence with concrete materials. They don't encourage chain link. They also don't encourage natural fence. So we need to have a fence around the whole school for the safety of the children and also for the safety of the school property. And also to make the area secure and conducive for learning and studying. So as we see, this is the main compound of the school. Where we can also have some of the recreation facilities We have put there trees which can also have shades for study purposes. And from the compound you can now have a clear view of our secondary school, where the top floor has offices and also has dormitories or sleeping space. Then the ground floor is basically having classrooms.
As you can imagine, with young boys and girls staying in a dormitory on a campus, having a wall around the campus is imperative for their safety. This wall will take about 18,000 concrete blocks to build, but each block is only 55 cents. So every dollar helps. A $5 donation will purchase 9 blocks towards our goal. Would you consider donating $55 so we could buy 100 blocks, or $110 so we could buy 200 blocks? That would be amazing. Thanks to those of you who have already donated, and please share these videos with your friends so that they can help our cause as well. Every secondary school in Uganda is required by the government to have a library. Let's rejoin Martin on his tour as he shows us the temporary library at the school.
Now this is the area we have gazetted as our book bank, where we're going to be keeping our books for reference and for study purposes. The reason why we have gazetted this area, it is because we don't have a library as per now, but we have said to get a room where we shall be keeping our books until such a time that we get our library block finished.
We are working towards a better, larger library in the near future. But until then, this temporary space still needs to be filled before school starts in May. Would you consider donating so that we can purchase textbooks and books for reading for the library? Any amount is appreciated. Please text Uganda to 91999. In Uganda, the schools are divided into 2 classifications. The first 7 years of school are in the primary school, P1 to P7. And then they go on to secondary school, S1 to S4. At that time, the students take another test, and if they choose to move on to vocational school, they can do that at that time, or they can continue 2 more years in the secondary school and go on to a university program. Before we return to our school tour, let's hear from another Christ State Academy P7 student.
My name is Baguma Christian. I have just completed my primary cycle. I thank Christ Aid for sponsoring me. It has done a great job for my studies. It has sponsored me from primary 1 up to primary 7, and I thank my sponsor Shelley for providing me with scholastic materials. I thank my head teacher, my teachers who have done a great job for my studies, and I'm looking forward to join Christ Aid Secondary School for my secondary cycle. I remain Baguma Christian, Christ Aid. May God bless you.
You guys, the phones have really started ringing off the hooks around here. So if you're getting a busy signal, just keep on calling 866-205-9618. Thank you so much to those of you who have already donated. Sponsorships of students for the Christ State Academy. In my family, we sponsor Mercy, who we were able to meet in person on our trip to Uganda in 2018. Mercy is now a secondary student. And as I think about my family, our daughter Lydia was in 5th grade when we traveled to Uganda and is now going into high school. I cannot imagine sending Lydia away to a faraway city, to a boarding school that I can't go visit her at with my means. So having this Christ State Secondary School is a huge benefit for the students that are local to Kachuna. We have made a huge difference with the sponsorships of the students. Students will be able to stay with their families while they go through their secondary school education. Let's continue the tour now with Headmaster Martin as he shows us more of the outside of the school and a look at the computer lab. During the video, please watch for a tan building over on the side. It's currently being used as teacher housing, but it will be converted into the library and dining hall once the secondary school opens. More information about that coming up in just a minute.
Now this is the front part of the school. On top, as I've already showed you, those are the accommodation facilities. It's the girls' wing, and we have the opposite side where we have the boys' wing for the accommodation. Extreme end, we have the staff quarters. Down here, we basically have classrooms. These are classrooms throughout us how we are going to be seeing. These are the classrooms where the students are going to study from. Now, one of the rooms is this one. This one is slightly small because we are going to be using it as a room for computer lessons. So we're going to be using this room. It is slightly smaller.
Hey, good evening, friends. It's good to be talking with you again this evening. I'm Bruce Van Dusseldorp. I'm the Executive Director of Christ Aid International, and it's just a joy to be associated with a ministry that is doing the amazing work that's being done. But I got to tell you, it's because of you and your help. You just saw our headmaster Martin take you into a computer room, but you saw that it was empty. You'll also notice, perhaps if you looked at the needs list, that there's computers to equip the computer laboratory, but we're working with a couple of different churches or organizations to try to do that. Nonetheless, if you have an interest in computers and you'd like to donate towards the computer cause, we certainly would appreciate that and welcome that. I got to tell you that I was just sitting in the room off to the side here a few moments ago, and I heard the phone ring 3 times. So let's take a look at our needs list. I know that the opportunity to go over to Kachuna a couple of times every year, and it is a blessing. And so many people, the kids, their parents, the grandmas that we support come up to me and just are so appreciative of the difference you're making in their lives. So please continue to give and to support us. We thank you all very much for the work you're doing. Nothing would be happening if it weren't for you. So thank you and God bless you.
This is where it's going to be general science laboratory to teach the science subjects of physics, chemistry, and biology. We have power, we have already connected power, we have already connected water, because with the science practicals you need heating facilities, you need water systems. So this is, we're going to have our general science laboratory here, which is going to, we are going to have it well cleaned, is going to be well made, so that all the classes, right from senior 1 up to senior 6, can use this facility. So this is one of the classrooms that we are going to be using for study purposes, and we hope that it can accommodate around 50 students, 50 to 70 students per sitting, and with the Ministry of Education guidelines, we are going to have enough social distancing, we are going to have enough space for the students to learn.
Now you've had a chance to see the science classroom and a general classroom. You've probably noticed that they put quite a few students in each classroom. We hope that by watching these videos you can see just how Christ Aid is impacting this area of Uganda. I was lucky enough to go over about 4 years ago. When I was there was one working toilet that I saw, and that was for the teachers at the primary school. And now we have this beautiful new building with these amazing restrooms that you're about to see in this next clip.
This side we have for the bathrooms. The bathrooms of what we can have, the lavatory, the bathrooms and the toilets. This side. So these are the bathrooms for the students. Then this side we have for the toilet facilities for the students, which they're going to be using. So we move this side, we have the accommodation space. These are the dormitories where we have quite a spacious room. Our students will be sleeping here. This wing is for the girls. The opposite side we have the wing for the boys. So we expect this room to house around 30 to 50 students.
Please enjoy all the rain we're getting in our beautiful indoor rainforest. As Martin just talked about, there will be a girls' dorm and a boys' dorm on the second floor of the school. Boarding at secondary schools is very common in Uganda. Christ State Secondary School will offer opportunities to these boarding students, but also to the day students. For local students that can't afford to spend the night, they can just walk home 1 or 2 kilometers away. We are required to have both a library and a dining hall before the school can open. We are currently looking at remodeling our teachers' housing building that sits next to the secondary school to accommodate this library and dining hall. As a boarding school, you can understand why it's super important to have the dining hall very close to the school. We have the building for the dining hall, but we still need to fill it with plates and cups and silverware. We need to purchase the kitchen equipment to cook the meals for our student. So please donate now. You can text Uganda to 91999. Martin will briefly talk about our dining hall in this next clip.
We also have a need for a dining hall, which have not yet been established, but we hope that with God's grace, we are going to have our dining hall.
Okay, looks like we've entered the wet season in Uganda now. Thank you for sticking with us. Again, our number is 866-205-9618. Keep those donations coming. Let's get the school opened. That last video concludes the tour of our school. As a teacher this year, it's been very difficult, let me tell you. But can you imagine being a teacher at a brand new school with brand new supplies that we are going to try to supply for the school in Kachuna? It looks like, last check, we were around 45. Also, please stay with us for just a couple more minutes. We want to hear from our headmaster at the Christ State Primary School, Richard, and then we'll have a closing comment from Grace, who is the Ugandan Executive Director of Christ State.
My name is Mtegek Richard, and I'm very thankful to the Lord who has seen us through the whole year. See that our candidates sat for primary living examinations. They sat 54 of them, and I'm hoping all of them they are going to come in first grade. I'm very thankful to our beloved sponsors, USA, to see that they have managed to support our beloved children and to support education here in Uganda. And I'm praying very much our candidates, all of them, the way they did their exams, they all come to our secondary school because I'm seeing how beautiful it is. Thank you very much. Blessings.
Okay, let's talk about standardized testing for just a minute. Here in Colorado, our elementary students just got done taking the CMAS test. In Uganda, there's something similar. They're national examinations in order to continue on into secondary school. It's called a primary leaving examination. And when we saw that on the video last night, we previewed the videos, we're like, that's not the right word, primary leaving. Well, it's because they're leaving primary school. So it is primary leaving examinations. that you just heard Richard talking about. We are so happy to say that Christ State Academy has finished in the top 3 primary schools for the whole region in Uganda for the last 3 years. If you're not familiar with the Christ State campus, there's a primary school that Richard is the headmaster of. There's also a preschool, and the preschool has an enrollment of over 150 students. The primary school has an enrollment of around 600 students. And now, here's Grace with the closing word.
We are saying that in Christ, all is possible. All is possible that we shall have our school in operational come 2022, and it will all be possible that all the entire community of Toro region and beyond shall be behind us to support this cause. And of course, when you give education to your community, you are empowering it. Thank you for empowering us, and we look forward to seeing our school, our secondary school flourish.
Thank you for joining us on this virtual tour of our new secondary school. We have a long way to go before we have enough funds to provide everything that we will need at the school when it opens. So please talk to all your friends and family about Christ Aid and share the links to these videos. You'll be able to find them on our Facebook page and also on our website, christaidintl.org. Our phone lines will be open for 30 minutes after the live event, so feel free to call 866-205-9618. No gift is too small. Honestly, every dollar counts. The Christ Aid campus is just one part of the Christ Aid ministry. Please go to our website if you want to learn more about supporting grandmas, homes for grandmothers, our sustainability projects, and supporting students like my daughter, Lydia Kawino. Lydia is in secondary school now. I've been supporting her since she was in P6, and I'm very proud of her. She just continues to do well in school. She used to walk 3 miles a day each way to get to her primary school, so actually a boarding school was okay for her. But anyway, there's lots of girls and boys just like Lydia that could use help, so please reach out to us at any time. As our director Grace said, in Christ all is possible. We look forward to hearing from you. Thanks again, and God bless.